Hello, everyone. All right, let me get to my channel first so I can make sure I am live. There I am. Yes. Hello. Happy Monday. I am Amy with Simply Elizabeth Crafts, and tonight we are going to play with Paper Pumpkin. We're going to create 2 cards using it. This is the full kit here. I always order some extra ones just in case. This one, though, has been a popular one, so I have 1 left. If anyone is interested in that, it is $28, and that includes shipping. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Verna. I hope you guys have had a relaxing day. First and foremost, actually, I'm just going to put you guys right down on the table. Looking for, hold on, for whatever reason, it's not giving me your whole comment, Deb. Looking forward to this set demoed. Okay, got it. It was like covered up with emojis on the side and wouldn't give me your whole comment. So I'm going to put you guys down on the table. And while I do that, if you are here, go ahead and give a thumbs up, as well as let me know you're here by saying hello in the comments. And please share. That always is very helpful to me. I know with it being Memorial Day, we may not even have very many people on here, but I wanted to still go live because tomorrow is my team meeting. And then Wednesday's Bible study, so I wouldn't be able to do it until much later in the week. But anyway, here's a little close-up of the cards, and I'll even show you these because I did put them together. And if you've been around the channel for a while, it's all about the outdoors, and you know how much I love that. So I was really looking forward to this one. So I hope I don't disappoint in the cards that I created for tonight. Okay, last chance to get in with the bingo. Last day to register is on Wednesday. So make sure we will have a smaller crowd this time around because there's a lot going on for the summer this year. So if you are interested, though, make sure that you get in on that because I have to get everything ordered by Thursday in order to have it in on time. And the bingo is $50. So there is a registration link in the description of this video if you are interested. Hello, Nancy. Okay, the next thing I wanted to talk about real quick is the virtual album retreat being put on by Stampin' Up. Starting on Wednesday, you can purchase, that's not a registration fee, which is kind of cool. Your cost is just the kit itself. It is a 12 spread, which actually means it's 24 pages worth of scrapbooking. That also includes 3 stamp sets. It's got some embellishments, some cutouts. It has got all kinds of fun little things in it. So when I tell you the price, just from what I've been able to see as a demonstrator on it, it looks incredible and it looks very well worth the money. And if you've ever done one that was with Close to My Heart, this is the same thing. They will have a exclusive Facebook group that you'll be a part of, and the presentation will be over 3 days for all 24 pages. So if you are interested in that, starting on Wednesday, you can order it. The cost is $250 for those that are in the US. So I have set aside so that I can get this purchase because I am super excited about it. I love scrapbooking. It's what made me fall in love with crafting back long ago. And when I first started Stampin' Up, I did a whole lot more with scrapbooking, and I've really in the last year gotten really back into it. So I'm super excited about that. If you have questions on it, just let me know. Okay, so now we get to dive right on into tonight's projects. Okay, so this is going to be our first one. I did them very simple because the cards itself in the kit were very simple. I really just wanted to do simple along with it. I also really liked the sentiments, and so I felt like that, especially for this card, needed to be the focal point. So I'm going to pull all of my stuff real quick, and we're going to use this die right here is from the dies called Hugs a Bloom, which goes along with, let's see, I have to remember the dates because, you know, we're, I think it goes through what, July maybe? Because it's January, February, March, April, May, June. Okay, so June, I'm sorry. So it'll go through the end of next month. So April, May, and June has coordinating dies for your paper pumpkin. And so that's what these are, and that's what we used that right there. So let me grab, I think that is it right there. And we're going to use a new end color as well, the Secret Sea. I keep calling it Secret Skies, and I don't know why. Maybe because I think it looks like a stormy sky color. I don't know. But I keep calling it Stormy Skies. So if I say that, just correct me. Just correct me. All right, so we've got our card base, which is really wonky. Let's try that again. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and put in, hello, Michelle. I'm assuming that means that if you were on here, you were home from work. We're going to put this piece on our inside so I don't get it all messed up. And put that down. Okay, and then we're going to set this aside. We are going to stamp our sentiment to start off with. And we're going to literally use Secret Sea on all of our stamping for this card. If you do not notice, I think this is probably my new favorite color of all time. Oh, we need to leave that open. I think I even like it better than Night of Navy. Shh. Don't tell anybody that though. All right, I'm gonna grab a piece of grid paper, and I am going to stamp the trees. I took all 3 trees. These are actually the trees from, hold on, Scenic Adventures. I left the stamp set over there. So Scenic Adventure, it's those 3 trees. And we're gonna ink those up, and then we're gonna stamp down. And then without re-inking, we're gonna scoot it over. And actually let's do it here. We're gonna stamp it like that. Okay, and then we're gonna ink it up again. And we're gonna stamp it down. And then we're gonna re-stamp it like that. And then we're gonna ink it up one more time. We're gonna stamp it off. And then we're gonna come over here and we're gonna stamp it there. Okay? Then we're gonna take our birds. Let me make sure I do this right. We're gonna take our birds, and then we're gonna stamp our birds up here. So we're gonna come right about here like that. Then we're gonna stamp them right about there, okay? So lots of birds, they're flying south for the winter. Then we're gonna take and attach this to our Secret Sea cardstock. I will eventually get it, I'm sure. And then it'll retire, and then it won't matter anyway, right? Okay, so there we go. We're gonna flip this over. We're gonna pop it up with dimensionals. Yay, I'm so glad you're home from work. I hope it wasn't too crazy busy of a day for you. I know it has been a lot lately. All right, so then we're gonna stick this onto our card front. And stick it right there. Then we're going to take our stamped sentiment piece. We're going to take some linen thread. And I will say, this set gave me the perfect opportunity to use the linen thread on both cards. I actually ordered more linen thread last week, and it will be here early or midweek because, well, I've used it a lot lately. And we're just going to kind of create a little bit of a mess. We don't want it to be perfect. We just want it to kind of be there. And then we'll trim it off. Right to there. Then we're going to take some of these dimensionals. And we're going to put one here, one here, one here, one here. And then we're going to let that lay flat. And we're going to put one right here in the middle. We'll take that off. If I can get my fingers to work with it. And then we're going to flip it over and we're going to attach it right here. And then ta-da, that is it. That is card number 1. Simple, easy, quick to the point. And basically using the products from the kit, it was really only that piece back there and then your birds and sentiment. So this is a good set that you can pull in whatever you have to also kind of coordinate with it as well. Okay, so we're going to close this up so I don't get it everywhere. And then we're going to do card number 2. Now, when I saw all the pieces that went with this kit, all I could think of was like a window in the mountains, because I love the mountains. I love going to the mountains. I love going to a house that has lots of windows. Several years ago, we took my niece Harper and my sister-in-law Hope, and we went to Maggie Valley. And the house we stayed in had windows all around the living room. And then it had like a wraparound porch to it. The view every morning and every night was magnificent. So that's kind of what I thought of whenever I saw this kit. And so I put kind of a frame together so it would kind of be like a window that you're looking out. So that's kind of where I got the idea for that one. And I've already cut out our little frame, and what I did was I used one of my new favorite die sets, and this is called, which of course I can't ever remember names yet, Textured Notes. And I used the largest one, which gave me the detail, and then I used the next, or not the next to the largest, but then the third to the largest, to create that frame. So it would give it like an even border all around it. Oops. All right. So then we're going to, oh, and I forgot to show y'all really kind of what the stamp set looked like. So it has happy birthday in it, but it also is kind of geared toward fathers with Father's Day coming up. So we're going to use the sentiment, "You're the greatest," because you could give that to anyone. Oh, thank you, Verna. Okay, so here we go. We're going to take this and we're going to add it to the back. And what we're actually going to use is some tear and tape. And we're going to put tear and tape down the edge, because this is just going to help us to adhere it without having to have messy glue. All right, and then go up like that. And we've got to trim this down because this is going to be too long. If you look, it's going to be too long across there. So we're going to grab our cutter. And I want to keep this part, the majority of this part. So we're going to pull it over here. And our, oh, I need to be in the, and our frame is a little bit less than 4. So it's 3 7/8, right? 3 7, yes, 3 7/8. So what we want to do is make it a little less than 3 7/8. So we're going to do it at 3 1/4, and we'll trim that down. Okay. And the reason I wanted to keep this part is because we're going to cover this up with the trees anyway. So having this tree here, and you can see that it's going to get covered up anyway. So, but I wanted more of that to show, so it would be a little bit over there in that corner. Okay, and then we'll take off our backings, and maybe there it goes. All right, and then we're going to lay this down. And actually, you know what? We could probably cut off a little bit more so we can see more of that tree. Let's do that. Let's cut off a little bit more. Because the more of that tree we can see, the better. There we go. And it doesn't, I mean, well, you want to get it as straight as possible, but it is okay if it's not. Okay. And then we've got a little bit kind of hanging off the edge over there, so we'll just trim that off with our scissors. That's no problem at all. We'll just take it all the way down, make sure it's not gonna stick out. Yep, my scissors are getting caught. There we go. Okay, perfect. All right, so there is our little picturesque area. Now we're gonna take and flip this over. And I brought in, because it's a frame, you've got kind of this open area here. But what I did was I brought in our little sheet dimensionals, and we're just gonna cut some of them because I want the dimensionals to be a little bit thicker on this. And then we're gonna actually, because you could also use strips are adhesive strips, but what I want to do is cut it skinny enough as well where it will just go all the way down the frame. So like over here, we can do this, and then we can cut off this little part here. We can put that there, and we'll actually cut this one in half. And we're gonna go across the top, which is mainly what I need to make sure we have the smaller pieces for. All right, and then we'll just cut off some more here. You can also cut this with like your mini trimmers. And of course they fly everywhere when you cut them, but I wanted it to be a little bit more secure with it being a frame. Let's do there with that frame. And then we're gonna stick that here, and then one more, because we're also gonna pop up the next layer. So we just wanna make sure we've got it secure enough. And I do have the strips, but the strips are a little bit taller than our regular dimensionals, and so I didn't want it too bulky with having that next layer. And so these are in between our regular dimensionals and those adhesive strips. All right, so now we've got that. Oop, I'm knocking things around over here. We've got our card base, and this is Night of Navy. And then we're gonna adhere this right to the front, like that. The next thing, let's go ahead and add our inside piece so we don't forget. Well, so I don't forget. Y'all don't forget. Y'all tell me half the time what I forget. All right, and then the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take the little tree. So this is a punch out from the set, and you're gonna notice here, we've got a little thin area that we're gonna pop up So we're gonna cut a little thin strip from here. And we're gonna make sure that that goes all the way down. And then we've got another little strip up here. So we're gonna make sure it goes there. And then since we've got these, we'll just go ahead and cut and use these. So we've got there, and that's too long, so I need to cut it a little bit. And we'll stick this one actually right here. There we go. We're gonna put this piece here, like that. And then we're gonna cut this in half. And we'll put this here. And then that will make it secure. And let me get all this paper out the way. Otherwise, I'll be dragging it down the hallway with me. All right, and then this is gonna go right about here. And ta-da. And then it blends in with that tree right there, which I think is great. All right, so next thing, we are going to stamp our sentiment on here, and we're actually gonna do some heat embossing on it. So we're gonna grab our embossing buddy. Then we're gonna stamp "You're the Greatest" in Versamart. Right here. I think that'll be great. There we go, that's perfect, or perfect enough, right? Then we're gonna take our white embossing powder. We're gonna dump it right on in. And then put it right on over again. Okay. Flick it off. Then we're gonna heat it up. And I'm gonna grab my tweezers because otherwise I will burn myself. Well, there we go. So we'll heat this up, and then we will flag our ends. It won't take but just a second to do so. All right, there it goes. I feel like my sample was definitely better with the embossing, but that's okay. Actually, no, that turned out pretty good. It looked like it was kind of hit or miss. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're going to flag our ends. So we're gonna go up the center. I'm gonna go up a pretty good amount of way because I don't want it to be too, I don't want the edges or the sides to be too long. Okay, so then we're gonna come over on this side, do the same thing, right up the center, in from the edge, in from the edge, and then ta-da. We are then going to take some linen thread. We're gonna grab that roll and we're gonna tie a cute little bow. And I think it'll work even for a masculine card with the bow. I think it'll be just fine. We're gonna take our adhesive, put it right there in the center, and then attach it there like that. Grab our regular dimensionals. We're gonna put one here, and one here. Then we're gonna take off this one and we're gonna put another one right on top of it, because we are gonna put it right across here, and that's popped up already. So we want it to kind of lay flat. So we're gonna stick it right here on the edge, but it needs that 2 to make it go straight across with the other 2. Okay, so there is that. Now, last but not least, we have to add some bling to this card, because this one needs it for sure. So we're gonna grab our little tool here, and we're gonna take and put a few of these on right here. Let's do another large one up here. And then we're gonna do a little one there. Oop, oh, I did get one. A little one here. And then a little one right there. And then ta-da, there we go. There is our last card. So 2 cards for tonight. And let me pull in our first one right there. I will also have a blog post. It'll go live tomorrow for these cards so that you'll have all the measurements and the products that are used that are outside of the kit itself. And then I will have a project later on this week that will actually be a scrapbook layout. So it'll be a 1-page layout. I have some photos that I need to scrapbook from Maggie Valley. So my plan is to start working on some pages for that. So thank y'all for joining me tonight. I truly appreciate it. And I will see y'all next week. We will be out for the summer for church. So it will be the first Monday of the month, but I will still be live next Monday. I am not sure what we're going to do yet, but I'll keep you posted. We might actually go with using the Scenic Adventure because I don't think I've used that yet for YouTube Live. So that'll probably be what we do, and I may make the cards that we make in our team meeting. So thank you, Deb. I appreciate it. But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening and rest of your week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.